Hey everybody, it's me, Lori Simpson Ortega. Again, y'all know me by now, but be sure to like and follow Clean Cotton Bespoke Embroidery because I'm trying to grow my numbers on my business page in order to secure another line of exotic fabric. But that's not what this post is about. This post, as you can see, I'm dressed in all black, and it's kind of fancy black, like the kids say, because I'm going to a funeral at 1 o'clock. But here's what I wanted to make this post about. In the description, it says take care of business. And then I put next to that all business. Here's what I mean by that. Let's make sure we have life insurance before we pass away. To my understanding, term life policies, once you reach a certain age, term life policies and prepaid policies can be acquired for pennies on the dollar. Now, for those of you who have insurance, it is no longer, it's more than $5,000 to conduct a funeral. I don't even think $5,000 will cover, if you plan on having a service, it may not cover all of that, but that's not my industry, but look that up, okay? So do take care of business. Those who have insurance, check with your agents to do a checkup on that to see if you still have $5,000 from 1980, 1975, that's not going to work. To my understanding, you need now a minimum of about $11,000. So those of us who have insurance, do a checkup on that, because as the cost of living goes up, we should also check to make sure we increase our insurance coverage to adjust to that. Now, I also want to say, and I'm going to walk around for a minute. I also want to say, once you do that, I had coffee. I just finished vacuuming. Once you do that, or here's my plug for that. If you are the primary breadwinner, that means you're paying the mortgage, you're paying all the responsibility for the quality of life that other people are living is in your hands, then I'm saying to you, protect their quality of life after you die. Be concerned about that as well. And have more than $10,000. You know, if you can have 100,000 or however much debt, if you still have a house payment or a mortgage, don't leave them struggling to pay the mortgage. You should probably get enough insurance money so that if they want to pay off the house and have that as an asset, get enough insurance to do that. My father used to say, insurance is not for the dead, it's for the living. So parents, be concerned. I'm going to sit this right here and turn my planner over. Be concerned about the living. So make sure that if you have insurance, that you do a checkup to make sure you have enough. So you can, we don't know the day nor the hour when we are going to die, but let's make sure we are prepared to die. Let's take care of business. And that taking care of insurance business is just not limited to making sure you have coverage, but making sure you have adequate coverage, and also making sure that you have enough so that if something happens, when your kids are really little, you need a lot of insurance coverage. You need about $500K to maybe upwards of $1 million, because you don't want to leave your wife, or your spouse, whoever, struggling trying to, those kids are going to grow up. They're going to need cars. They're going to have prom. They're going to need graduation caps. Y'all, we paid for Grant's graduation regalia. That stuff is $100. I did not even know. We was arguing over $20 back in 1987 because that was highway robbery for something that we would not wear again. But anyway, I digress. But they're going to need it. They're going to want to go to camps and vacations. You don't want their quality of life to diminish after you're gone. And we see that happening a lot in families. So I wanted to come on here to make this post for two reasons. Number one, take care of business. Get some life insurance, because these GoFundMes, it's apparent that people only want to give to the haves. Because this actor that just passed away a few weeks back, and they set up a GoFundMe. Hey, Vivian, they set up a GoFundMe for him, or he made a plea for his family. They got upwards of $2 million. But what he didn't tell y'all, given to that, is that his now widowed wife used it to buy a ranch. They had all these other properties that they could have sold in order to maintain their lifestyle. But he said because we liked him, I liked him, but I didn't send no money, and I'm not. Y'all don't come for me with that because, people gave to that upwards of $2 million. Okay, and that's why I say we have become a society that's conditioned to keep giving to the haves and overlook the have-nots. But again, that's a whole nother lesson, Vivian. But these GoFundMes, you got to look at the circle that you're running in. And if your circle is struggling to make ends meet and to pay bills, they're going to give $20. The most they will give is $100. And if you don't get enough people to do or to give, then it's not going to happen. That money may not be, it's not going to be adequate. So then we're going to end up with yet another family statistic. So make sure that you have insurance, that you have provided for your family, so that you're not dependent upon the kindness and pulling at the heartstrings and telling such a horrible stories. We don't even have food to eat. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, well, some people are not moved by their emotions. Some people are like, well, you'll get through this. They're not going to give you anything. So you cannot rely on a GoFundMe. You also cannot rely on churches anymore. Because I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but when the economy is going amok, as they say, and I learned this from my father and business, other solid business, earned degreed accountants and financiers, that when the economy is not where it should be, when people are struggling to feed themselves, clothe themselves, and shelter themselves, provide transportation and now communication through cell phones, they are not going to be as generous to our houses and places of worship unless they have been conditioned to be generous to our houses and places of worship. So those days of the church, can the church loan me $2,000, or I went to this church, I paid all this money into this church. Wait a minute, I thought you was giving it as unto God. Because if you was giving it to God, then okay, that's one thing. But are you giving it, which, Vivian, I'm sorry, but I'm glad you're on here, which leads, y'all need to refer back to a lesson I did several months ago about the motive. So when people die and you start bringing up, I gave all this money to church, so who was you really giving it to? Because if you were giving it to make a name for yourself, the church is not a bank, the church is not a finance company, the church is not a it's not a GoFundMe. Now, I do believe ministries should have financial aid offices for emergency situations. But if you're able-bodied, has been out here, every time we see you, you got a new bag, new pair of shoes, designer or faux designer. Every time we see you, you out to eat. Every time we see you, you dress to the nines, you on these exotic adventures. And when you get sick and you pass away, we find out you have no insurance. I'm here to say the church will give you maybe we'll give you $250, but we're not co-signing on crazy and poor decisions. Churches don't do, that's not what the mission of the church is. The role and the mission of the church is see to the needs of the people, the sick, the shut-in, the orphan, the widows, and widowers and the imprisoned. It's not to try to cover these elaborate funeral services for people who did not factor that in as a life expense. So I'm asking you and imploring you on today to take care of business. We're all going to die, which leads me to this. At the funeral or the wake for the individual that passed away on yesterday, Mr. Samuel Garza, his kids, grandkids walking around unbothered. Why? Because he took care of business. His wife passed. He had her insured. He took care of business. His daughter, Barbara, eldest daughter, Barbara, was involved. Barbara Garza, for those of you who may remember her, and I think every time we say the dad's name or we speak the dad's name, it ushers in a memory. Wonderful lady. Barbara unfortunately passed away from the results of a car accident. He had her insured because she was not married. Okay, she was not married, and him operating as head of household, her father, he had her insured. Okay, he had her insured, unbothered with her. Now he has passed away. This man was walking around telling people that he was ready, and now we realize his element of ready was, my kids aren't, we got to figure out, they don't have no insurance. No, only thing they're going to be able to share about him are memories. Okay. Our memories. So that's what I'm saying. Take care of business. Insure yourself. If you're of a certain age and you don't have it, go talk to these funeral homes and get you prepay, pre-plan, whatever that is. Get that. When you start working on jobs, those of us who are in careers, if you've been paying for a separate policy at your insurance company for insurance, when your job offers you insurance upwards of, I think with the school districts, we're able to get up to $25,000 for ourselves free. Check the box for that. You don't have to pay for that. But then we can insure our spouses, our children. We can do that. So if it says if like for me, just using as an example, if my insurance at school says, hey, it's going to be $10,000 for a month for me to cover my husband at $300,000. Okay, yeah, I'll give the $10 a month. I'll invest in that. If it says that I can insurance my kids on my job up to $50,000 for $5, yeah, that's a happy meal for honey, our little grandson. I'll invest in that. I'm not looking. I want all the money in my check. Okay, well, do you see what I'm saying? Don't just look at it like you're not, you have to insure them. You have to make sure that you take the time and that you invest in the money to do it, because number one, it's worth it. Okay. It's worth it. So take care of business while you are above ground. Here's my second part to that. Okay. Take care of business aside from, we got life insurance. Send me a thumbs up if you understand what I'm talking about for life insurance and life expectancy types of stuff. Take care of that. Now, here's the second part of that. Take care of business. Those of you who live in homes, if you're buying those homes, if you own those homes, let's get a little bit more vigilant about staying on top of repairs. And thank you about staying on top of repairs at our homes. Some of us, God has blessed us to have homes, and either we inherited those homes or he blessed us and we're paying for those. Let's make sure that we don't allow for those homes to fall into disrepair or because your home is your biggest investment. So those of you praying and believing God to bless you with a home, and those of you who God blessed with a home, please make sure you stay on top of the repairs. When you see that, the molding is messing up, take the time to do that. Clean those baseboards. When you see paint peeling and all that, take care of that. Your home is your biggest investment. So take care of your home. Even if it's little things, you may not be able to do everything at one time. You may say, well, I don't want to get a loan for this. Every time you get paid, set aside $100 to fix whatever, make a list, fix whatever little things need to be fixed. Take care of business, because your home is your biggest investment. Because if you don't have life insurance and your kids need to sell your home in order for them to live, because maybe they don't live here, or maybe the home is what you can get more, they can walk away with more money, as opposed to the real estate agents coming out here and say, well, the fair market value is this, but you have this, it needs, the cabinets or need to be painted, it's outdated, the carpet is dirty, well, you got the caulking coming apart. That stuff you could have fixed while you were alive. So take care of business. That also applies to your cars. If you are paying for a vehicle, if you own a vehicle, there's no reason why that car should be running around here filthy. There is no reason why that car should be running around here with no hubcaps. You can go to Walmart and buy a set of hubcaps for four hubcaps for maybe $50, $100. Who convinced us that we needed to have rims? Who convinced us? Now, those things are nice and those things are attractive. But when you operate with a poor mentality, a poor mindset, and you say that I want to get out of this situation, God's going to get me out of this, then you know what? The first thing, before he elevates you, he starts changing you mentally. So some of us still have a poverty mentality. We'll drive around in a dirty car and we'll get out with designer handbags and we smell like Gucci, Dior, and Prada. But when we get in the car, God forbid, somebody needs to ride with us. You got to try to dust the seat off. They start getting in the car and you start making apologies. Let's stop that. Let's be good stewards. Let's take care of business. When people come to your home, that you got to start apologize. Somebody pop up in your home, at your home, and you got to start apologizing. If you have one of those homes where you don't want people to just pop up, then you need to tell people that. But sometimes, depending on what's taking place or the situation, they may pop up and they pop up and you got stuff everywhere. You got dishes and the house smells like food has been out. Trash has not been taken out. Then they walking up and they see stuff in ill repair. How dare you tell me that God is going to bless you and God has blessed you? I don't want to hear your testimony in church if you telling me how God bless you with all this stuff, but it's dirty. It's stinky. It's cluttered. That's an indication that you have not been fully transformed and renewed in your mind. Romans 12:2. Anytime we hang on to excessive clutter, now that speaks to what's going on in our mind, spiritually and naturally. Now, I have a studio. Let me tell y'all how this lesson hit me. My studio was so cluttered because I do a lot of different things, but it was interfering with my productivity. I write in planners. I have all of that organized. I have a post-it system. But when I came home, it was all just I would go in there and I started feeling myself getting antsy and jittery. And you know what? The Spirit said to me, you're unorganized. This is chaotic. Organize this. It's chaotic. So you know what I had to do? I had to take a day, spend some time going through and getting rid of stuff, organizing stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Take care of business. Stop telling me that you are blessed and highly favored if all your stuff is broken down. If furniture is broken, get rid of it, trash it. If you want to keep it, repair it. If it can't be repaired, put it on the side of the street. If clothes don't fit, get rid of them. If you've changed your style, get rid of them. I know I'm going through my closet this weekend because I'm 56. I have the style of now a 60-plus-year-old woman. Okay, I have a more elegant, polished style now because of my age. So get rid of it. The next thing and final thing, because I see my group walking in, Take care of business in these relationships, because that man is dead and gone, but his kids knew exactly how he felt about them. His deceased wife knew exactly how he felt about her. That man would walk around hugging his kids, telling his boys he loved them, hugging his grandkids. This man took most excellent care of his wife. Those of you involved in relationships, single and or married, and I'm not talking about, let me just deal with the married people right now. Y'all better start appreciating these folks. Y'all walking around in houses not talking to anybody. Y'all fussing, y'all arguing. You have more energy for the people on your job. You give other women compliments. You give other men compliments on the job. You always there for everybody. Take care of business in your home. Married people, take care of business. If you married that person, and if that's the person that you want, build a life with that person. Don't have that woman constantly trying to drag you to move you to be better. Don't have that woman constantly trying to drag you to improve stuff, but you go home, you sit on the cell phone and just troll nonstop and stuff falling apart. And that woman already stressed out, trying to cook, trying to clean, trying to maintain the kids. And you just sitting there. Be the head of that household, man. Come on. We need y'all to rise. Take care of your business. If you married that woman and that's the woman you said you married, you wanted, treat that woman like you wanted her. Treat her like that's the person that you chose. Now, here's my flip side to that. If that woman was your second choice and you see that you still trying to hold out secretly for your second choice, let that woman go and you go find your second choice. Let her go. You go find your second choice, because it is not fair to her. And when I say for men to do that, I'm saying to women too. If you knew that was your second choice, you know, if you can't love that man the way that the Bible tells you to love him, and you can't respect him that way, then you need to just come clean and say, hey, this not working. I'm only going to breathe air one time. So men and women that are in marriages that are dysfunctional, women, if that man is going out working every day and he's really trying and you staying home, cook that man a hot meal. Okay, go home and cook that man a meal. Make sure that man's clothes are washed. Make sure those kids are clean. Make sure you are teaching and instructing your children. If that man is going out every day, don't no man want to come home and see you walking around in bonnets and slippers and mismatched pajamas every time he comes home. If he's out there trying to provide for his family. If he's out there providing for his family, sometimes when that man walks in the door, my mother used to do for my father, and then, you know, I used to do before I started work. When that man walks, hey, Anna, when that man walks through the door, sometimes when you hear the car pulling up, you need to be on the other side of that door. Say, hey, how was your day? Give me a hug. How you doing? Oh my goodness, I missed you all day. How was your day? And you need to have a hot meal. You need to have that. If you're not working, if he's doing those things, you need to make sure that you have that together. If not, then you need to basically just cut your losses with your children. Take care of business. Hug those kids. Love those kids. Stop talking down to those kids. Teach them, train them. Make sure they have everything that they need. But let us take care of business in 2026. If we don't want to be with people, let them go. If our kids did not turn out the way that we wanted them to, once they are an adult, you say, hey, you know what? You didn't turn out. I put all that energy in you and you did the opposite of what I was expecting. But if you're happy, while I'm not happy, if you tell me you're happy, I'm going to pray and ask God to help me. Let us take care of business. So I got to go, because I got to now go take care of some business. This was my lunch. I'm going to be here for a half a day, but that was my lunch from Tuesday, because I didn't get a lunch because we were testing. But that's all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.